So, so when we talk to our participants, very important is just like what you're doing, you're nodding. Very important. In 21st century, this is something na kulang. As in, all across. I mean, I'm telling you, not just Philippines. We've been having different clients even outside of our country. And one thing that's very evident is the affirming gestures and the lack of it. So, especially Gen Z.
Oh.
Mga Gen Zs, yung mga hi dyan, no? Mga Gen Zs and millennials.
Yeah, but we're counting on you in the coming elections, okay?
Yeah. Vote wisely.
Do.
Okay? So, in today's time, because of 21st century where we have our phones, mobile devices, and maraming TikTok, maraming social medias, and dahil sa short form content, I tell you, Sir Dino, even in training rooms, they believe and they feel like, not to their fault, this is going to happen to all of us, the best of us even. If we're not aware, minsan kahit nasa training room tayo, nasa presentation tayo, someone's presenting from or even in your dining table, just because of that short attention span na meron tayo, minsan wala tayong facial expression.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Leader's Edge. I'm your host, Dino Santos, and today we're in for a treat. We're out here at this fine place. It's called George Anonis for season 22, episode number 4 with Jay Galang, who's going to talk about many things, but mostly about communication and a couple of other topics. Jay, could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes. Sir Dino, thank you for having me here. So my name is Jay Galang and I am the CEO founder of Speak Insight Training Consultancy together with my beautiful wife who is now 9 months pregnant.
Oh my.
So in a span of a few weeks, I'll be officially a dad. So we've been doing trainings and team buildings for 3 years together with my wife, coming from different companies, campuses, cooperatives, and churches. But prior to this, I'm also employed in Coffee Bean as their transformational facilitator. So pretty much excited to talk about a lot of things today.
I'm excited for you. Is this
Yeah.
your first baby?
First baby, yes. Unang-una. So medyo kinakabahan.
I understand. When
Yeah.
I had my first baby, I was on assignment doing team building in
Really?
Calatagan,
Calatagan.
Batangas. And then when I heard the news, she's going to deliver soon.
Wow.
I couldn't go, so I hope you're there
Yes.
when
Yes.
the delivery
Yes.
happens because you don't want to miss it. Yeah.
Tama.
Anyway, that's a very interesting thing that you shared, that you've had so many varied experiences already, both in church as well as in the
Right.
professional world. No,
Right.
what made communication, important or vital to you?
Yeah, thank you for that. I remember when I was in high school, first year high school, dapat ilalagay ako sa section 3 when I was enrolling, but full na yung section 3. So the principal made a decision and put me in section 1. First year, section 1. And so, pagpasok ko sa section 1, lahat ng tao na nandoon were the valedictorian ng grade 6. They were the salutatorian and everything. They were smart.
In short, parang honors class.
Honors class. Correct.
Pressure.
And I should be in section 3, so hindi ako prepared. So I was there and sobrang iwan na iwan ako sa class. 43 kami sa class. And I remember, si Lilibet and me, naglalaban kami sa 42 and 43. So sabi ko kay Lilibet, haha, ako'y 42, ikaw ay 43, hindi ako kulalat sa klase. And so, that was always been the case. Pertaining to your question, why I'm telling you that is, my araling panlipunan teacher told my advisor, dahil huli nga ako sa klase, Pilyo wasn't really excelling in class. My teacher said to my advisor this, because Galang yung apelido ko. Sabi niya, yung Galang, dito pa nagkalat ng lahi yan.
Oh,
So, that dawned on me.
masakit.
Right? Because that was my teacher na alam kong magaling. I'm really looking up to her. And when she said that, I believed in it, na nagkakalat lang ako ng lahi. And for the longest time, I really thought that that was me. I was just a mess. I'm just nagkakalat. And I'm not capable of doing anything. That's why I'm saying that is that now that I understand that words have power to give life, and it also can destroy a person. Yeah.
Wonderful insight, and for those of you who are educators, please take note of the story, because you can either motivate somebody to greatness or just tear them down.
Right.
And our job as educators is, as ever, to uplift people, to make them
Exactly.
aspire to better things. But
Yes.
as you turned out, it seems that it didn't have that much of an effect because you appear to have bounced back. How do you do that?
Well, I cannot give the credit to myself. Actually, it started when I was in college. Tapos, my life was really coming from different places. I came from a broken family where my dad got so addicted to drugs, and I was 4 years old during this time. I was the second among us four. And yung daddy ko, dahil nalulog siya sa drugs, naubos yung savings namin.
Wow.
Wala kami makain. And what happened is that dahil 4 years old ako, apat kami magkakapatid, how much more yung third and yung last ko na kapatid, sobrang bata pa nila. So dahil wala kaming pera, wala kaming makain, what happened is that yung mama ko, pinadala niya kami sa bahay ampunan.
Seriously?
Yeah, we were in an orphanage.
Man. Okay.
And so that was me. That was our life. And I still can remember the vivid memories where I was in the orphanage. Until shout out to my tita, my tito, who really helped us because they found out that my dad was in prison and we were in the orphanage. And so by God's grace, they adopted me and Kuya and my two younger siblings in my lola's house in Pampanga. So that was our setup.
Pusong ginto talaga. In
Yeah.
other words, hindi lang siya relation in name, but in terms of spirit and heart. Malakas yung EQ niya, yung
Yes.
empathy.
Yes.
Wow. But so during that time, there was the transitional phase from being around your biological parents, and then for a while you had to stay sa orphanage, and then transition to hopefully like a sense of normality with
Yeah.
your aunt and your uncle.
Right.
During the period between staying with your parents and then joining your aunt and uncle, how long did you stay in the Bahay Ampunan?
Yeah. We were there for 1 long years where yung nangyayari every night, I can remember, lahat kami nakaupo, tapos we will be praying, Lord, sana may mag-adopt na sa amin. And I would not pray that. I don't want to be adopted. I want to go home. And so we were there for a year and then kinuha kami ng tita ko, kaya kami napunta dito sa Manila. And so there's this quote, I really love it. Kids who feel love and care at home will go to school to play and learn. But children who does not feel love and care at home will go to school to look for love and care. And I was that person. I was looking for, affirmation, for acceptance. And so that's why I'm telling this is that when I went to school, yun talaga hinahanap ko. Kaya lagi akong I would tell you, I would steal money and libre ko yung mga tao so that they would see me as famous. Si Jay, big time, si Jay, mayaman, si ganito. And that spring to multiple relationships. That's why I'm telling this, is that I met this girl. Kasi I've been jumping from one relationship to the other. And I met this girl. This girl is quite different from the other. You know this feeling. Nung nakikita kami, he would invite me to church. He would
Awesome.
invite me to church. And I don't go to church that much. I somehow, pagka siguro may kailangan, go to church, birthday, punta sa church, but not often, not regularly. And so when she introduced me to church, to Christianity and the love of God, doon ako nabago. Yan. So fast forward, I realized na kung paano ako magsalita at kung paano rin ako napagsalitaan ng mga tao can really make or break a person. It can, as you've said, encourage someone para mas magalingan nila sa ginagawa nila. And I'm pretty sure even for our viewers that you've also felt those times na may nasabi sa yung isang tao na sa sobrang sakit until now dala-dala mo pa rin. And possible na because of those words, it can either be your stepping stone or a source of discouragement that holds you down even today. And that's why we're having this. That's why communication became part of my being. And that's what I want to teach the world so that we can be encouragers instead of critics, So, yeah.
What an amazing story. Not just because of the struggles that you went through, but more because of how you got out of it and how you found your way towards the light, as it were.
Yeah.
So that brings me now to my question, which is, how does communication manifest itself in your current life now? I know that you're soon to be a father.
Yeah.
You have your own business and you also facilitate, right?
Yeah.
What does communication mean to you now?
Thank you for that question. As we teach it, communication for us is a two-way thing. It's like a two-way street, right? May giving of message and may receiving of message. So, for example, right now I'm the one talking, but you're also communicating. So even the people that we meet or, in trainings, even if they don't have the microphone, they're also communicating something, whether body language, through verbal and nonverbal communication. Few studies, according to Project Co, 63% of the survey respondents who have wasted time at work due to communication issues. 63%. Just because of bad communication, time is wasted. And not just that, according to couples, 94% of couples reported their communication as poor, became unhappy in their marriage. 94%. And so, me bilang a husband, ngayon, I'm reading this book and it says there by John Bevere, you bring out the best in your partner. And that stuck with me. That every time I communicate or say something, I should, number one, mean it. Number two, if I want to help her improve in an area of her life, I should be encouraging. Hindi lang basta masabi ko sa kanya tapos bahala na siya, lantang gulay siya pagkatapos, you suffer with it, you grow with it. No. That's why it's so important to communicate well. And that's what we've been teaching for the longest time to the people around us, and even to ourselves. Even at the moment, I'm still practicing better communication,
Jay, there is a business application instantly to what you've observed.
Yeah.
Kasi we all know that one of the biggest issues in offices anywhere, people afraid to tell their boss bad news.
There we go. Correct.
And then if they're not switched on, if they think that for those of you who are managers, if you think that communication is just verbal or email or text, you're missing a big chunk of the picture because much of communication is not non-verbal. The nuances, the the non-verbal cues, no?
Correct.
So kung may napansin ka, halimbawa ang staff mo na para bang nag-aatubiling magsalita, the whole meeting, zip, may problema siguro yun. And if you catch that, maybe after the meeting, because he's too embarrassed to say to anybody,
Correct.
lapitan mo and then in a non-threatening way, invite him to open up.
Right.
We miss that so much.
Right.
So
Right.
I love the statistics that you shared because that lends validity and resonance to what
Mm.
you're sharing. When you help people with their communication issues, do you touch on all of the nuances that many leaders miss out on?
Good question. What I can say is that in general, we touch the most important ones, especially nonverbal. According to Meribian and Ferris, it's an old study but still applicable to this day. That it's around 55%. 50% is actually body language. Only 30 plus percentage is the voice, not even the content of what we say. Pero yung mismong boses, kung masyadong boring kapag imagine natin ganito ako magsalita hanggang mamaya. For a time, okay pa. Pero kapag tumagal, ganito lagi boses ko, mawawala na, mababawasan na yung views natin pa isa-isa if not for the voice. But if it's varied, it's like a lifeline. There's that passion, there's that, pause. When we vary it, mas nagiging alive. So when we talk to our participants, very important is just like what you're doing, you're nodding. Very important. In 21st century, this is something na kulang. As in, all across. I mean, I'm telling you, not just Philippines. We've been having different clients even outside of our country. And one thing that's very evident is the affirming gestures and the lack of it. So, especially Gen Z.
Oh.
Mga Gen Zs, yung mga hi dyan, no? Mga Gen Zs and millennials.
Yeah, but we're counting on you in the coming elections, okay?
Yeah. Vote wisely.
Do.
Okay? So, in today's time, because of 21st century where we have our phones, mobile devices, and maraming TikTok, maraming social medias, and dahil sa short form content, I tell you, Sir Dino, even in training rooms, they believe and they feel like, not to their fault, this is going to happen to all of us, the best of us even. If we're not aware, minsan kahit nasa training room tayo, nasa presentation tayo, someone's presenting or even in your dining table, just because of that short attention span na meron tayo, minsan wala tayong facial expression. Most of the time, actually. Yan yung struggle namin ngayon in today's time when we do trainings and team buildings. If we have a crowd na alam namin, oh, okay, ito yung type of crowd na yon. Yung nakikinig naman sila na mabuti, we just have this strategic planning in one of the companies. Great company, great people, smart ones, but you can see in their facial expressions, no reaction, NR.
So they're not there.
They're not there, facial expression-wise, but when we ask them, what are your learning so far, they can answer you directly. They're listening, but at the same time, they're non-verbals. Empty.
For those of you wondering what Jay is talking about, this is not necessarily unique to Gen Z.
Yeah.
Even millennials have it.
Correct,
This is
correct.
where they're multitasking. And also for those of you who are facilitators like Jay and I, ito yung dilemma natin Yung bang
Yeah.
sa Zoom kasi, you don't have any of the cues. Camera's off, microphone is off. You're doing your best to be engaging,
Yeah.
vocal variety, you're gesturing, you're really trying to make them feel that they're present and you're acknowledging who they are.
Right.
They're struggling kasi wala kang cue, no? And then when you encounter them in team building, like you said, minsan they're physically there, but they're also processing something else.
Right.
And that's why napansin mo ba, Jay, na minsan yung mga tinatakbo mo dati na one day,
Mm.
gusto nila half day na lang.
Mm.
No, kasi
Right.
in fairness, mabilis din kasi sila mag-absorb.
Correct.
They're faster. So that's fascinating because it leads now to this next question.
Mm.
Given the realities now,
Mm.
sabi nga ni John Paul Adena, an expert in social media,
Mm.
statistics indicate that nowadays the attention span is down to 2.8 seconds.
Mm.
And if you don't hook people within that time,
Yeah.
they're just gone.
Mm.
Kaya nga Netflix, ta-da, then the movie.
Yeah.
Right? So that presents a unique challenge.
Right.
What would you recommend we do?
Compelling challenge actually. This is for everyone. What I'm about to tell right now, that's actually a very great question kasi that's the reality of life at the moment. And we cannot blame Gen Z, millennials, or generations for that matter just because they and we at times cannot listen the way we want to, right? So yes, of course, meron tayong mga tinuturo for communication, verbal and non-verbal. There are a lot of tips that we can talk about. But what I want to focus here that we can all agree on is the theory of Malcolm Knowles. So Malcolm Knowles has this theory about the andragogy of adult learners. So, di ba po, narinig na po natin yung salitang pedagogy. So, pedagogy is for children. Di ba? Children who learns classroom type and some facilitators, even some trainers, still uses that framework. Di ba? I'm pretty sure meron tayong viewer ngayon, nag-attend ka na ng seminar, ng training kung saan inantok ka or wala ka masyado nakuha. It was 8 hours and 8 hours na yun yung speaker lang yung nagsalita. I'm pretty sure na-experience na natin yan. Malcolm Knowles actually encourage us not to use the pedagogy or yung kumbaga nagmumukha kasi tayong know-it-all.
Yeah.
Kapag tayo lang yung nagsasalita all the time. Diba? Nangyayari na sa atin yan, I'm pretty sure. That's why sabi ni Malcolm Knowles, there are 6 things that we have to consider when we're facilitating a meeting, a training, a team building, or even just with your friends. 6 things. No? Number 1 is we have to understand that we have to use adult learning facilitation. Number 1, that every adult has their own self-concept. Ano po ibig sabihin ng self-concept? Children heavily rely on adults' pedagogy. But adults, on the other hand, tend to identify themselves as responsible for their own learning. Meaning, pagka pumunta sila sa isang training, yung gusto nating ma-feel ng mga tao ay sila yung responsible sa learning nila. I'm pretty sure nangyari na sa atin to. Sabihin nila after training, alam mo, yung natutunan ko dito nung naisip ko ito, puro ko. So because they have their self-concept and okay lang yon. As facilitators, as trainers, okay lang na sila'y nakadiscover ng learning and we give them that safe space where they are so interested in what they're going to learn na while they're in that zone, ang dami nilang naiisip. Self-concept. Number 2 is the experience. Adults versus child or children. Kids, of course, less pa yung exposure with experiences, whether good or bad. Diba nga sinasabi that when we have experiences, sometimes we win, but sometimes we learn. So when we have good and bad experiences, we have a lot of things that we can process and learn from. Kids, on the other hand, they have less exposure and not to their fault. For adults, we have to consider na marami ng pinagdaanan yung mga audiences natin. So dapat hindi tayo assumptions na hindi nyo pa alam to or what. Dapat nandun tayo. Even as trainers, we are ready to learn from them. Kasi in psychology, that's what we say, we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
So when we go to a meeting room, let's have that posture as well. Yes, we have prepared slides and we're going to train them about communication, for example, but also be in the posture that there will be some things here today na yung mga participants ko they have something that they can contribute to the discussion because of their experiences. Number one is self-concept. Number two, experience. Number three and four, magkadugtong ito. Number three is readiness to learn. And number four is the need to know. Readiness to learn and the need to know. Ang ibig lang sabihin nito, readiness to learn, ibig sabihin, adults wants to identify ano ba makukuha ko sa training na to today. Kasi kung hindi ko makikita paano to magiging applicable sa buhay ko today, ba't ako makikinig?
Right.
Right? So, number 6, the need to know is actually quite similar. According to Malcolm Knowles, this principle basically means before undertaking the process of learning, we have to build a tension. Right? So, for example, kanina when we are starting, trying to apply this as well.
Yeah.
Right? Na the study of that there's 94% of couples, poor communication, hindi sila happy sa marriage nila. All those things. So, kinukuha natin yung attention.
Right.
In social media, yung tawag doon, yung hook. Right? So, need to know, the readiness to learn. Self-concept, experience. No? Last two. I hope may nakukuha po tayo from this and that you can apply. No? Number 5 is the orientation to learning. Meaning, di ba yung nung bata tayo, okay, subject natin ngayon, math. Okay, next hour, subject natin science. Ganun tayo wired before. But for adults, no longer that time. No longer that aspect. Hindi na tayo ganun natututo ngayon. Adults are often problem-oriented. For example, hindi ako magaling sa communication. That's why I'm going to attend a communications training. Hindi ako magaling sa leadership. I want to attend leadership training. Ibig sabihin, there's a specific need that we want to address in our lives. That's why we are in a specific class or specific platform or area. So, orientation of learning. And lastly, okay, alam ko there's a lot. We're talking about 6 here, but I just want to build this. That it's number 1, self-concept. Number 2, the experience. Number 4 is the readiness to learn. Number 4 is the need to know. Number 5 is the orientation of learning. But number 6 is the motivation to learn. Meaning, yes, namomotivate naman yung mga tao na okay, pinapunta kami na HR namin, this is going to be paid day, kahit attend lang ako ng training today, it's paid. Yes, that can be a motivation, but deeper motivation is that when they see na dahil dito sa training na to or sa pinapakinggan ko, gagaling akong tatay, gagaling ako sa trabaho ko, nakikita ko yung deeper purpose of what I do. Motivation. That's why pag pinaghalo-halo natin lahat ng pinag-usapan natin, this is what we call adult learning facilitation. Right? So, yun yung mga bagay na ina-apply, even today, ina-apply, tina-try ko i-perfect, tina-try ko i-apply every now and then sa trainings para mas maging lively, mas maging para sa kanila, that at the end, by God's grace, ito yung mga nakukuha nating some feedbacks. Number 1, alam nyo sir, nakinig ako today and ang dami ko natutunan at hindi ako nakatulog. Pangalawa, narinig natin by God's grace, sir, dahil sa training na to, I have attended so many trainings before, but this training is far different from all the trainings that I've attended. And number 3, last na po, number 3 is actually a story. We have a client dapat last year and hindi nila kami nakuha dahil we're fully booked during that day and hindi na nila mamove, hindi na kaya. And so what happened is that you have to choose another provider. So okay lang naman sa amin kasi no problem with that kasi kahit naman tayo, let's service fairness. But they came to us last year saying na, sir, yung kinuha naming facilitator before nung pinalit namin sa inyo, number 1, sir, untemplated nung sinasabi.
Yeah.
Number two, sir, kung siguro BPO company yung kausap niya, pasok yung mga sinasabi niya. Number three, sir, hindi namin na-feel na para sa amin to. And so that's why us as educators, as trainers, as facilitators, really beg all of us to do our homework because this is what we are paid to do. Practice what we preach, do some studies in how to conduct trainings, not just the knowledge, hindi lang yung matututunan nila doon sa training, pero paano sila mapupunta para matutunan nila yung training. Ano yung environment na i-create natin so that they can learn as much.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
6 points. So, let me just synthesize it for our audience
Yeah,
kasi
yeah.
medyo marami. Ano?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, correct.
para ma-digest
Apologies
natin.
for that.
From what I gather in what you shared, adult learners kasi, as you said, they bring their own experiences
Correct.
to a classroom. Tsaka, they're usually there because they're motivated. We hope they're motivated.
Hopefully.
Kasi minsan, masarap yung pagkain kasi, kaya pumunta sila. No? Malaking bagay sa moral kasi yung food.
Right, right.
Ano, if they know that the food is great, oh yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
But more than that, learning shouldn't just feed their body, it should feed their minds. And bonus pa, if it feeds their heart.
Mm.
You know, like ethos, logos, and pathos.
Yeah.
Put together. Now, if I gather what Jay was trying to share with everybody is fundamental to helping people learn, no? As we talk about communication, is identifying correctly what their pain points are. In other words, sometimes we use the term gap, gap analysis. Kasi minsan, makakarinig ka ng mga kwento na, sinabi kasi ni Sir, ito yung kailangan ng mga tao natin. From his perspective.
Correct, correct.
But what about the end users? Kasi diba, we have two clients. The one who hired us and the one who will end up in our classrooms. We have to please them both. Ayan. So, if we are able to do a proper training needs analysis, and the gold standard is always going to be, say, for example, hindi yung mga focus group discussions, although that helps. The problem with that kasi, although maganda yung dynamics ng communication doon, is if there's a problem between the boss and his subordinates, they may not reveal as much as they would have if the meeting was okay, puro staff lang for today. Bukas, puro yung mga bossing nila.
Yeah.
So, then they can be more free
Right.
to share what they really want to share. One of the gold standards will always be observation. Some might even call it time motion analysis or time motion studies. I remember one time I begged my client, sabi ko, Orly, alam ko ito yung hinihingi mo, customer service, but before I design anything for you, could you please embed me with two groups of people, your best practices technicians and your worst practices technicians. Of course, don't tell them that that's what they are.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just join them on their client calls. And so that's what I did kasi doon ko nakita yung tinatawag nilang ninja at saka yung lugaw.
Lugaw.
This is a unique term for the photocopier industry kasi pag ninja pala, apat yung client calls yan. So, apat ang machines na ayusin nila sa araw na yun.
Okay.
Pero half day pa lang, tapos na.
Wow.
So, like, they're the rock stars of the company. But when I embedded with them, ito natuklasan ko, no? Ang dami ng mga tornilyo sa bag niya. Sabi, ba't ang dami ng tornilyo? And sir, kasi sa dami ng pupuntahan ko, kahit na 6 yung tornilyo nitong holder ng roller, 4 na lang yung kakabit ko kasi hindi na matatanggal pag 4. Hindi ko na kailangan dagdag yung 5, 6. Then I go, all right, well, there's logic in what he said. That's why he's so fast.
Yeah.
But then the client calls a month later kasi daw nag-iingay yung roller. Kasi nga, hindi talagang nakakabit na maayos. Kaya ang dami niya tornilyo. Tapos naman si worst practice, si lugaw, ito pala yung 4 yung pupuntahan niya sa isang araw, 2 lang yung napuntahan niya.
Okay.
Kasi OCD. Sobra. May dalang blower ng panglinis ng camera. Tapos, maliit na brush.
Okay.
Naglalatag ng diary sa paligid. Kita mo, haba na ng pila ng mga taong gustong gumamit ng copier, hindi pa rin tapos.
Yeah.
And then they're wrongly labeled as worst practices. No, they're not. They're just
Mm.
very meticulous.
Right.
Ayan. So when I went back
Mm.
to my client, sabi ko,
Mm.
okay, Orly, here's what I saw.
Mm.
Dude, we need to change the outline.
Wow.
Kasi the people you want to fire today are the ones who really end up with very satisfied accounts kasi meticuloso sila.
Wow.
They don't have this huge bag of screws at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But there's no. Wow. So, tuturo ko sa kanila is to be mindful that the client has their own tagalinis ng kalat. So you don't have to put the newspapers there because somebody else will come along to clean that up anyway. Now for the ninjas, is to remind them that follow the specs.
Mm.
If it's 6 screws, it's 6 screws.
Yeah.
And they're fast anyway. So they'll meet their target of 4 balls. So yan yung sinasabi ni Jay kanina na there are times na people feel like, why am I here?
Yeah.
You know? But if you hit the correct pain points, if you identify it and don't just rely on what somebody said, but verify it, then the intervention you roll out
Yeah.
is going to hit exactly what they need. It makes the client happy, makes the participants happy.
Right.
Yeah. So I hope that helps to synthesize much of what Jay shared. But I'd also like to add very quickly, that an important factor that Jay shared with everybody is that the value of rapport.
Mm.
Because sometimes older people like me,
Bata.
thank you.
Yeah.
Love that. Yung bang, they look at all the white hair and they'll think, he's not going to understand us. Yung gano'n, no? So minsan napiprejudge yung mga matatanda. Tapos minsan naman yung mga matatanda, kung aminin, piniprejudge nyo yung mga bata.
Agree. I've experienced that as well. Na head to toe.
Yung pupunta ka sa isang kumpanya, you're going to offer training, and then the millennials are going to say, not the millennials, the Gen Xers are going to say, ay, masasayang lang yung budget namin dito kasi those guys, they'll leave in 2 years anyway. Gano'n, no? Prejudge na kaagad. Tapos na naman yung mga millennials or yung Gen Z, they might say, they don't treat us fairly kasi para bang wala ng work-life balance. Ang haba kasi ng mga training eh. So, hindi ba pwedeng half day na lang? Or like half day Saturday na lang? So, the struggle there is to build rapport and to meet people halfway. Which leads me to this question, Jay.
Yeah.
When people come to you for a design, syempre of course, they say, Jay, we need team building. Ito yung situation, may dalawa kaming bagong expat na pumasok sa kumpanya.
Yeah.
They come from a different culture. And so there's sort of like imposing their lack of political correctness into the company. Alam mo naman yung mga Pinoy, madaling masaktan. No?
Right.
Prangka kasi mga Australiano eh. That's just the way they are, Mike.
Yeah.
Diba? So, kailangan mag-team building tayo para maintindihan nila itong mga Australiano na ganun lang talaga sila. They don't mean anything by it. And maybe for the Filipinos to also understand na they value efficiency kasi. They have an allergy for BS.
Yeah.
So pag ganun, ang daming dimensions sa communications na involved dyan eh. How would you say begin to design?
Yeah.
Para in terms of communication, magkaroon ng paghihilom yung mga sama ng loob. Tapos
I love
mag-bond sila.
Right. So thank you for that question. That's actually a very good question. So sometimes in a team building or in a training room, or even when we are presenting, tama po ba, that there are different cultures involved coming from different countries. Not to mention different backgrounds pa nila on themselves. So what we usually do sa TNA, doon talaga magkakatalo eh. Make or break ang TNA for us. Kasi yung, just like you mentioned, kapag hindi maayos yung TNA, pupunta tayo sa training room nang hindi tayo handa sa gera. Right? And ayaw natin yun. Ayaw natin templated. Yes, of course, there are certain times that we have a templated program that is applicable for certain groups of crowd. But in general, so like what you're mentioning, TNA is very important. And when we do the training itself, dapat nami-meet both. So the Australians or the Filipinos. Case in point, for example, when may naalala ko na company, na Australian din. They're a good friend of us right now. Kinuha nila kami last year mag-conduct ng team building for them. Australian company. They have Team Manila and Team Cebu. So, shout out to Scott and to Haley and Collective Resourcing. So, sobrang good friend namin sila. We've conducted a team building in Cebu and in Manila. So, Cebu and Manila in itself, magkaiba na ang
Yes.
culture.
Yes.
Iba ang Cebuano sa mga Manila Lenyo. Right?
Manileños.
Hirap.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, tongue twister. Okay, so ngayon, yung kinraft namin sa Team Building Cebu, yes, it's the same company, pero iba yung Cebu, iba pa sa Manila.
Absolutely.
Iba yung approach, iba yung salita. Doesn't mean one is greater than the other. It just means that we have to customize it accordingly. Right? May times, I'm pretty sure na-experience din akong trainers and facilitators kayo. You be prepared so much, pagpunta mo doon, teka lang. Hindi sila yung profile na binigay sa amin. Sometimes, even our bosses and leaders, nagkakamali sa demographics and profilings. Dapat ready din tayo to adjust it on the spot. You heard me, right? Mag-a-adjust tayo on the spot. And we have to have that humble heart that sometimes doon na lang talaga natin siya malalaman. So it's very important, TNA. Very important to know your crowd, their age group, even religion, marital status, all the things that we can get as early as possible so that we can craft it accordingly.
Agreed. In other words, if you're a facilitator,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility to profile
Yes.
your learners properly.
Yes.
Kasi no matter how well you design or prepare for something,
Yeah.
the unexpected will rear its ugly head. Because
Correct,
si
correct.
Murphy, I'd share with you, Jay, yung sinusunod ko, hindi na si Murphy si Boylan. Kasi alam na natin yung Murphy's Law. Diba? If anything can go wrong, it will.
Yeah.
But I follow Boylan's Law,
Uh-huh.
which states, Murphy was an optimist. In other words, you have a backup plan for your backup plan, which has a backup plan.
Love that.
Kasi I'm sure, Jay, siguro nangyari na rin sa ito. Ito yung list of participants pinadala sa'yo. You study them.
Right,
you
right.
get ano ba yung rank nila? Saan sila naka-assign?
Yeah.
And then on the day itself, suddenly, ay, kasi nagkatrangkaso, we sent him instead. Or,
Correct.
di ba? Minsan, may drop out talaga. Like,
Yeah.
typically, 2 or 3 don't show up. And that always throws a wrench in the planning. Kaya yung sinasabi ni Jay na kailangan mabilis tayong mag-adapt, mag-adjust. I'm sure you have some battle stories. Which one stands out for you? Like, you planned everything so well, you prepared so well, and then on the day, many of the worst possible things that you hope would not happen did.
Right.
How did communication help you out then?
Right. I have 2 quick stories.
Yes, please.
One is a government agency that I will not mention.
We won't.
Okay. We conducted a 3-day team building for them. Okay. So we were there. Nagtatakbo kami ng training program, and we were looked from head to toe.
Oh.
Kasi this government agency, matagal na sila, and yung tenure ng mga tao, like 15 years in the company, 10 years from the company. If you're 5 years from the company, bago ka pa lang. Okay? So, kumbaga, older generations to. Nangyari, sinungitan talaga bluntly yung isang facilitator namin. And yung isang facilitator namin, talagang na-degrade and na-demoralize siya. And there was, di sila sumusunod at first, during the team building. And so, after the first session, we did a huddle. So communication helped us. Number 1, communicating with the team. Okay, how are you so far? What are you feeling? What are you observing? Do you think we need to adjust anything? Ganyan. So we talked, nalaman ko nga na bastos si ganito. Okay, so ganito gagawin natin. Okay, so we are here to serve them. They're our guests, but at the same time, we have to draw boundaries kasi we also want to protect you. Okay? So we talked and adjusted accordingly, changed some of the activities to make it applicable because of the situation. Afternoon, by God's grace, it was even better. As if all were participating by God's grace, and it was a fun team building day for us and memorable as well. Okay. Second story. Okay, it is a well-known medical hospital. So, syempre, medical hospital. So, and yung binigay sa amin na na mga na demographics and level of tenure ang tataas at matagal na. So we prepared kasi kausap din namin galing sa English, ang galing kausap. Nung nandun na kami, okay, sige, medyo English tayo, tsaka yung activities natin. Let's do some cerebral, yung mga less of physical kasi mga ayaw nila, ganyan. Ayaw daw nila. Pagpunta namin doon, grabe, mga, alam mong Tagalog ang kailangan na team building. So, you will do Tagalog team building today. Okay, kailangan namin magpalit. Nag-gauge namin from the crowd, paltan natin warm-up activity natin, paltan natin to. Different approach natin today. Pag kinausap nyo din sila, tao-tao tayo, they don't feel na mas mataas tayo or what. Everything completely changed as if we have to be like liquid, fluid even to go to this route and that route, follow my lead, I said to the team. And so communication is very important because it's a make or break. May magician quickly, no? May magician na ang galing niya mag-magic. His name is Vin Giang. You can search him online. Galing siyang magician. Sabi niya, when I do magic, it's 10 out of 10. Wow. It's really good, sabi niya. He knows his magic tricks. But when he presents to clients, wala siyang nakuklose na deal. And he realized that you can be, and you are just as good as you communicate. Kasi yung communication niya is 3 out of 10. So kahit gaano tayo kagaling sa ginagawa natin, we have to be good communicators. Hence, hindi makakam across yung gusto nating sabihin. Right? So, I hope I answered your question.
You certainly did. Especially for our viewers, remember na to learn to expect the unexpected. If there's anything true in life, is that we learn more from our failures than we ever do from our victories.
Yeah.
Because we're only as good as our last performance. Yun yung binulong nung servant nung general nung Roman na pabalik sa Rome after his victory. Victory is fleeting. Victory is fleeting.
Yeah.
To remind the general not to become complacent. And Jay certainly is not. Yeah. So, Jay, how would people reach out to you, or how do they find you so that they can engage you and your services?
Yeah. Thank you for that. So you can find us in our Facebook page. That is Speak Insight. That's SPEAK space Insight, INSIGHT. Speak Insight. We have different services like trainings, team buildings for leaders, entry levels. Now, different generations. We got you. We can help you. We will help you have hopefully the best team buildings and trainings that we can offer you today. Yeah.
Awesome. And I assume that you are also having events. Are you launching a book by any chance, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to finish a book by end of this year so that I can share some of the failures that I have also. I failed a lot as well. Even in communication, I'm still trying to become better, I tell you. But I'm trying to finish a book about lifelong learning and how to really learn in today's time,
Wonderful. You know what? Jay almost nailed it, because our ending line, as all of you are well aware, is that learning is a never-ending journey with limitless vistas. So I'm your host, Dino Santos, with my guest, Jay Galang, saying, God bless you, and click like, share, subscribe. You know, it's free anyway. Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah.